Hello again, everybody. Right, today we are going into auxiliary load. Focus camera. There we go. All right, sweet. So in our auxiliary load, you can see we have a gen input. So we can initiate gen peak shaving power, obviously, and decide up to 16,000 watts what extra we can use while that generator is input. We can also enable gen auto start features, so your gen load off battery, your gen load on battery. So once your battery gets to a certain percentage, the battery will be off, or the generator can either be charging the battery or not charging the battery. Sorry, I feel like I'm being very stupid today. But anyway, all right. So yes, so this auxiliary load can be also used as an output. So this becomes very important in systems, where you've got a split dB, and say you run your essential loads and your non-essential loads. Your essential loads are using a certain amount of wattage and you're producing excess power. Your auxiliary loads can go through the sub dB with your non-essentials, and then you can use that as an added benefit to powering that system. That way you'd have to select on grid always on, so that it knows it's grid and the auxiliary can be powered into that as well. Your solar power in watts, that's 500 watts. That's obviously how much of your solar you can use, so how much of your PV you can put into the system on your auxiliary output. Remember that that maxes out at 7,000 watts. You don't want to overexert the inverter in any way. And then obviously your auxiliary load off battery, your auxiliary load on battery, it's the same principle with the generator. It all depends on the state of charge on your battery. So then we go for our microinverter input. Now this is quite an interesting little add-on for a Sunsynk. You can actually add a smaller inverter through the auxiliary load input for more power from PV or anything like that. So if your inverter requires, you don't have enough power coming through the dual MPPTs on the Sunsynk, you can always use another inverter to power through this, or even a separate MPPT. But this allows you to actually add extra power into the inverter as required. So the obviously MI zero export, that's microinverter zero export if you don't want to use that power to export it all. But if you've got the extra power and are able to do it, why not? Obviously, then the next AC couple frequency high, that an inverter will have like a signal, like any other inverter has a frequency, so you need to make sure that that's within range. And then again, your AC couple off bat and your AC couple on bat, it all depends on the state of charge on your battery. So I've had a few of these installed and in the field, and they're working quite well. So it's quite a nice little setup for people that need a little bit more power than what their MPPTs on their inverter can actually deliver. Remember that you are limited on the MPPTs. It's quite a high voltage, but because of the size of the panels coming in at the moment, the voltage on them is getting higher and higher due to the size of the panel, and this makes it really interesting to add that little bit of power over and above what the MPPTs on the actual Sunsynk can handle. So yeah, great little feature. And as always, guys, let me know if there's anything else you want me to chat about, and we'll see you next time. Cheers for now.